Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we are going to be going over the risks for severe weather these next few days, which we do have the potential for a tornado outbreak once again today, so we will be going over that a lot. We also are going to be watching the potential for Hurricane Patty these next few days, as it has just developed into a tropical depression and is likely going to continue to upgrade to a tropical storm, and some even show it becoming a hurricane as well. So this is definitely something we're going to have to monitor these next few days too, as well, as we are also trying to monitor severe weather during the same time. So make sure to click that subscribe button down below, so that way we can keep you with the latest on both Hurricane Patty and as well as this tornado outbreak ongoing. And once again, I will try to be live later today, so make sure to stay tuned for that by subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave a like too as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns down below that you have. You guys can leave anything down below, as long as it's respectful, and I will get to those right after today's weather forecast. But let's first go ahead and take a look at what we can expect for today. And as you guys can see, we currently have an enhanced risk for severe weather heading from Joplin, Missouri through Fayetteville, Arkansas into Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and as well as areas far down south as Dallas will be at risk for that potential of tornadoes for today. And what has changed with this tornado threat is that it has expanded across more states now, guys. This now includes southwest of Missouri into parts there of western Arkansas, into northern Texas, now including the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and also including Oklahoma City too as well, and even including areas in southeast Oklahoma. So we will need to be watching those areas very closely, as we even have that hatched risk in play for most of that 10%, which indicates a risk for EF2 or stronger tornadoes, guys. And once again, those are strong tornadoes, and those are pretty powerful. So make sure you are having your tornado action plan in place just in case, as lots of people are going to be at risk for strong tornadoes now. And once again, we are going to try to go live for this. Ryan Hall, y'all will definitely go live for this too as well, because I mean, this could even be the biggest storm of the fall so far, depending on how many tornado warnings we get. Like, this is literally the biggest enhanced risk for tornadoes that we have seen this fall so far. So that's exactly why we're going to be live today. Plus, we also do have that risk for some damaging winds. Not all of that enhanced risk, but that does still include a pretty good portion of it, heading from Joplin, Missouri, all the way back down there into parts there of northeast Texas, as we could see anywhere from 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So we will need to be watching those areas very closely, especially as a line of storms may start to form. And we will also be watching that potential for even some large hail, which doesn't look to be the biggest concern, but that is still a high enough risk for large hail to where I would recommend putting your cars into your garage. But even if we don't end up seeing as much of a hail threat for today, I still recommend doing it, because once again, you know, that will protect them from the wind, and that should also protect them from a strong tornado at least more. So once again, make sure to do that for today before things really start to get, you know, very, very dangerous. Let's now go ahead and take a look at what we are going to be seeing for the environment for tornadoes for today. And as you guys can see, a pretty good environment for tornadoes is there across parts there of Oklahoma, getting up there towards parts there of southeast Kansas. This is definitely going to be one area to watch for. We also will have other areas of significant tornado parameter, like up there in Missouri and even down there more towards central Texas. So, you know, this probably won't be the only area to experience that, you know, that huge tornado threat. We could also see a couple down here in Texas, a couple over here in Arkansas. So it really just depends on how exactly storms play out, because I mean, we could be talking hundreds and hundreds of supercells, or this could just turn turn out to be, way less of a event, as we do head into the afternoon and evening hours today. So once again, that does still remain a little bit uncertain on how exactly these storms are going to be firing up later today, but once again, we will be live for it just in case things were to go extremely dangerous out here. So once again, make sure to be weather aware and have your tornado action plan in place just in case if you do live across eastern Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, back in southern Missouri, western Arkansas, and even areas down there towards central Texas, including the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Let's now go ahead and take a look at tomorrow now, and as you guys can see, for tomorrow, I can't believe I was right about having a marginal risk get issued across both the Great Lakes region and as well as down here towards Dixie Alley. And what's just a little bit concerning tomorrow is that we do have two small tornado risks for tomorrow, one across the marginal risk up there and another one down here towards Louisiana and Arkansas. We will still have a little bit of wind shear aloft, so it's not really going to be, a high tornado threat, but it is still going to be something to watch closely for, as a brief tornado or two could happen. So I would probably say have your tornado action plan in place just in case if you do live down there towards Arkansas and Louisiana, or if you live up here across central Wisconsin. And same with wind, we do have a risk for some wind, but I think the main concern tomorrow will just be that risk for a few brief tornadoes and no large hail threat, but I would not be surprised they did issue that across both of these areas, as conditions will at least be favorable for some large hail. So we'll have to see what happens by the time we head into tomorrow, but as of right now, that main concern looks to be that tornado threat and as well as those damaging winds. Let's now go ahead and take a look at Wednesday now, and as you guys can see, as we head to Wednesday, no severe weather expected, at least as of right now, but we will still have an area of some thunderstorms to certainly watch for. So not really anything too concerning, but we will still keep an eye on it closely as a marginal risk may get issued. Let's now go ahead and take a look at what we can expect for the excessive rainfall outlook. And as you guys can see, we got a huge area that is likely going to see a lot of rain and flooding for today, heading from parts there of western Michigan all the way down there near the Dallas-Fort Worth area for today. Those will be the areas to watch that, for that potential of potentially some, flooding. And if you guys are wondering what that means again, that means that scatter flash floods are possible. Many areas will likely be localized. Most nearby areas are unbanned areas, roads, small streams, and washes, but isolated significant flash floods are possible and certainly can't be ruled out. So, even though this isn't as high as a flood threat as we could have seen, you guys should still be taking this very seriously, as some areas could definitely experience up to a foot of rainfall as we head into the evening hours today. And it really just determines on if you get hit under a heavy thunderstorm, because those areas that may pick up near a foot of rain will have that potential for an isolated significant flash flood. But most areas should mainly be localized, and some moderate flooding may also occur. But like I said, some areas may get up there towards half a foot to maybe even a foot of rain. Like I said, it just depends on if you get hit under a heavy thunderstorm. But even though we're not under the worst flood threat, you guys should still be taking this just as seriously. Let's now go ahead and take a look at tomorrow now, and as you guys can see, for tomorrow we do have a marginal risk for flash flooding continuing from down here towards Texas and Louisiana all the way up there towards the lower Ohio Valley as we head to tomorrow. So things do look to start calming down, thankfully, after today, as all other days after tomorrow are also under a marginal risk for flash flooding. So it's not really going to be anything too crazy these next few days, but it is still going to be a little bit of something to keep an eye on, as we may still get an isolated flash flood or two somewhere in the screen color as we head into tomorrow and even the next few days after tomorrow. But once again, things really do look to be calming down down quite a bit after tomorrow, so we aren't really too concerned. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the total rainfall. This is anywhere from now all the way to November 13th. This actually does show November 15th, but this is pretty much right around the same time frame. And as you guys can see, we do have a pretty big area to watch for, as you know, we could be seeing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall across the northwest, with some isolated higher totals possible. But the area that we are especially watching is this entire area right here, and it actually does extend into the Ohio Valley, as we could be seeing anywhere from 2 to even as much as 5 inches widespread, but some isolated higher totals, especially across Missouri, down there towards Oklahoma, and as well as Arkansas and Texas. You guys will have the potential to see anywhere from 6 to 9 inches, but even an isolated total up to 10 cannot be rolled out. So you guys, once again, need to be taking this very seriously. Even though we won't be under the highest risk for flash flooding for today, it does not matter. You guys should be taking this very seriously, as that potential will certainly be there. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the trophics now, and as you guys can see, we got 2 systems that have already developed in the trophics, and this is very unusual for this time of year, guys. We usually wouldn't see, 2 areas of development, because once again, we do have Patty up here near Portugal, and I know Portugal isn't showing, but it's actually just right over there. But we also got Tropical Depression 18 that looks to be heading into the Gulf of Mexico by the time we head probably into Wednesday of this week. So we will definitely need to be watching it very closely, as this is going to continue to head towards the Gulf of Mexico. And like I said, it is definitely an area to watch for, as this will indeed head towards the Gulf of Mexico. The only thing that we are concerned about is that, this could be a hurricane by the time it impacts Cuba. The thing that doesn't really look to be a major concern, though, is that this will be a hurricane by the time it reaches these areas, because like I showed you guys in the last few videos, as soon as you reach these coastal areas of, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, as soon as you reach those coastal areas, these things aren't really going to have a whole lot to develop, because that's only like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and we need like 80 degrees Fahrenheit for there to really be a lot of development. So that is good news, because, this thing does look to die down pretty significantly by the time it reaches its coastal areas, but that does remain uncertain, as some models are showing it maybe going towards some other areas. Some even show it going a little bit more into Mississippi than Louisiana, but that is still going to be something to keep an eye on as well, especially by the time we head to Wednesday of this week, like I said. And, for the intensity model guidance, I know this is kind of cut off a little bit, but that's kind of how it was anyway. But for the intensity model guidance, though, most model guidance are showing this in between a category 1 to low and category 2 hurricane. Okay, so we are talking more than likely the potential for a hurricane. You guys might be thinking this may turn into a major hurricane, but I just don't think so, guys. Like I said, it will likely be encountering some very warm waters, or not very warm waters, but very cool waters as it gets near those coastal areas. So it's not really going to be anything too concerning, at least for a major hurricane by that point. But we will keep an eye on it just in case. So once again, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we will likely continue to keep you guys updated on both Hurricane Patty and, once again, that potential tornado outbreak that will be going live for today. At least I will try to, so make sure to stay tuned for both of that stuff. Let's now go ahead and take a look into the future on tropical development. And as you guys can see, as we head into the future on November 6th through November 12th, we are going to be watching the Caribbean very closely, as we will have that potential for maybe a system or two to develop. So, it's kind of, a little bit iffy on if we'll get another one or two during the second week of November. Same goes as we head into later November, which will be from November 13th through November 19th. So, we will definitely need to be watching those areas very closely by the time we head, like I said, into mid and as well as late November. But that does still remain a little bit uncertain, though, as, tropics may want to calm down pretty significantly, especially after these systems go through, because if tropical depression 18, which is what we just looked at, if that system is able to gain more strength, then that will really cool down those waters, and that may not lead to so much development later on. But this is a pretty low chance, though, so we'll just have to see what happens. But the chances are there, so we'll continue to be weather aware for tropical storms and hurricanes as we head into the middle of November, and you guys should too as well, especially if you live across the Gulf of Mexico. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's weather forecast. Once again, we will try to go live later today, and we also are going to be keeping an eye on Patty, and as well as another hurricane that does look to develop, because once again, Patty looks to be heading towards Portugal, while Tropical Depression 18 looks to be heading towards the United States. So we will definitely be watching those areas very closely. So once again, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we will keep you guys updated with the latest on weather with Sim. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up too as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you have down below. You guys can leave anything down below as long as it's respectful, and we will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys all have a great Monday.